DK, what are you doing here? No, I mean, aren't you supposed to be somewhere else? Donkey Kong is one of Nintendo's premier characters. A franchise unto himself and one of the regular crossover characters when it comes to Mario Kart, Mario Party, Smash Bros., and more, Donkey Kong is a highly recognizable character that has his roots as one of Nintendo's earliest electronic mascots. There's lots of history surrounding Donkey Kong's release in the arcade. It's notable because it marks Mario's first appearance, although at the time he was named Jumpman. Yeah, Donkey Kong had a name before Mario. Strange to think about. I know the goal of the game is to rescue Lady, or the woman later named Pauline, and that Donkey Kong was supposed to be Jumpman's pet ape, who is tired of being mistreated. Again, notable because although you play as Mario and you are the hero of the game, it doesn't exactly paint Mario in a great light. While we're seeing the NES version of the game thanks to the Wii's Virtual Console, I had to take a step back and look at the Atari version of the original Donkey Kong's manual. The Atari manual states, Donkey Kong the Ape has kidnapped Mario's girlfriend. In this action-packed rescue adventure, you move Mario through incredible dangers to save her. Your skill and speed determine your score. And that's it. No mention of Lady or Pauline by name here, though Mario does have his official name. But that's about it. No mention of Mario mistreating his pet. Regardless of the proceedings of the court battle of Universal City Studios Inc. versus Nintendo Co. Limited, the title of the Donkey Kong games obviously took their cue from King Kong. But at the end of King Kong, you almost felt sorry for the beast. At the end of Donkey Kong, Mario is just glad to have rescued his girlfriend. Donkey Kong 2 was a name reserved for one of Nintendo's Game & Watch releases, but the next arcade release was Donkey Kong Jr. In this title, you play as, well, Donkey Kong Jr., and you attempt to rescue Donkey Kong from Mario, who has him trapped. But in another one of those strange missteps of the early video game industry, it's awkward to see Mario depicted as the villain when it comes to Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong 3 ditched the Mario vs. Donkey Kong angle, introducing Stanley the Exterminator. Although Donkey Kong does return to the role of villain in this one, he's really just trying to hide out in a greenhouse while Stan the Bugman sprays him with pesticides. At least Donkey Kong's not kidnapping women. He's not quite as bad as he was. Well, at some point in the 1990s, Tim and Chris Stamper, who headed up Rareware, had the foresight to turn Donkey Kong into a hero. And with that move, they reinvigorated a franchise character who still stands tall in Nintendo's stable today. The change came in the form of Donkey Kong Country. If you had a Super Nintendo, there's a reasonable chance you had Donkey Kong Country. It was the second best-selling title on the system, only behind Super Mario World, which was packed in with most of the releases of the SNES console. Donkey Kong Country sold over 9 million copies, and sure, the first Call of Duty Black Ops game might have sold 25 million, but that's with well over 150 million Xbox 360s and PS3s sold, probably closer to 200 million. The Super Nintendo only ever sold a little over 49 million systems globally. The Donkey Kong Country games were a draw for SNES owners because they looked, simply put, so damn beautiful. Snow levels featured 12 layers of snow blowing back and forth. Parallax scrolling added dimension and depth to levels. And the character sprites, rather than being drawn in some cartoony way, were rendered in 3D by more powerful 3D modeling computers. Then, pictures were taken of the fully rendered models and placed in the game. Additional memory in the cartridge allowed for more frames, resulting in smoother animations. But this show is called Our Story So Far, and we haven't even talked about DKC's story yet, so what gives? What made DK transition into a hero? Would you believe bananas? Check this thing out. The original manual for Donkey Kong Country literally has an introduction that goes on for 4 pages. It drags, seriously, so let me hit the highlights. Takes place on Donkey Kong Island, introduces Diddy Kong, he's evidently in hero training, no explanation of how Donkey Kong became a hero. Last we heard from him, he was bunkered down inside a greenhouse, right? Cranky says your bananas are gone, and then the game starts. The manual suggests you're going to have to find Diddy Kong, but you find out in the first level that he's your companion throughout the whole game, and it's just an excuse to explain the DK barrel mechanic. The game does a great job of summarizing that massive story right in the beginning. If you check the banana cave below, it's empty. Boom. Story. Go get some bananas. Forget that they literally grow on tree-like plants, and get back to hoarding them all for yourself, I guess. DKC2, Diddy's Conquest, revolves around Donkey Kong being kidnapped, and Diddy and Dixie having to go save him. And it starts on a pirate ship for some reason. No real explanation as to how King K. Rool became a captain. In DKC3, Donkey and Diddy go out exploring and never come home, so Dixie sets out to find them, and is convinced along the way by a Funky Kong, tired of babysitting, that she should take her toddler cousin Kiddy Kong along for the adventure, and for whatever reason she agrees. Donkey Kong 64 is also fairly lackluster. Suffice to say, King K. Rool has a new weapon, the Blast-O-Matic, and wants to blow up Kong Island. Because reasons. And the even more recent Donkey Kong Country Returns game for the Wii? Let's see, Volcano, Creepy Majora's Mask, Captain's Hat looking thing, and we're back to Stolen Bananas. And Tropical Freeze on the Wii U? Again, downright beautiful to look at, but if you're looking for motivation, you won't find much here. So did the Donkey Kong Country game succeed in the story department? No. Seriously. No, not at all. Don't let yourself be fooled. The second and third games might have slightly more going for them than Bananas, but get real. It's strange that Rareware didn't just create an entirely new character, but instead took a property like Donkey Kong and tried to explain away the old bad guy Donkey Kong as Cranky Kong, and the new friendlier hero as DK, Cranky's grandson. All the while, DK Jr. is nowhere to be found. And although you can wrap yourself up in in-game information and meet lots of characters, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. Still, the story doesn't matter much to most people. The games are so visually stunning, so well done, challenging in just the right ways, rewarding in others, and the music, the music! If this video weren't already running so long, I could talk about the music for ages. But the story is a barely passable delivery mechanism for eye candy. These games have so much going for them, the lack of story has been forgiven time and time again. But if you're looking for a good backstory, you won't find it in Donkey Kong Country. Hey guys, that was episode 3 of our story so far. Thank you so much for watching, sticking with the show. Hopefully you've seen the other episodes already, and there's definitely more to come. So stay tuned, keep an eye on ourstorysofar.tv, like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to follow me on Twitter at NewAngel, that's Nuangel. We'll see you next time on Our Story So Far.